Warm greetings, everyone. I'm delighted to join you all today. I'm so heartened that the Women in Data Science Conference has brought us all together. Thank you so much, Margot, for your bold vision and inspiring leadership. My guess is that many or all of you know that Carolina Cresido Perez wrote the book Invisible Women in 2019. This brilliant book examines how the pervasive gender biases in our society leave half of the world's population invisible in so much decision-making. So I'd like to share with you 3 thoughts on the topic of the visibility of women and girls. First, we need to make sure that women and girls are visible in data science and STEM. As someone leading the development data program at the World Bank, I'm entirely focused on how to put data to work for our mission to create a world free from poverty on a livable planet. But together, we've seen the emergence of overlapping crises, from the pandemic to climate change to the reality of food insecurity, debt vulnerability, demographic pressures, and growing fragility and refugee crisis, and all of which have hurt poor countries and poor people the most, and all of which are happening as artificial intelligence is advancing so rapidly, opening a whole new realm of possibilities and risks. So the world needs talented data scientists now more than ever, and to grow the global evidence base of what works, where and why, so that we can get the right policies and actions in place to deliver help to people most in need and fast. So these are the principal challenges of our time. And women around the world must be empowered to lead on these issues. We all know that the evidence has long been clear. More than a decade ago, the World Bank's 2012 World Development Report on Gender Equality and Development made it very clear that gender equality enhances economic productivity, improves development outcomes for the next generation, and makes institutions and policies more representative. As Caroline Perez wrote, the specific importance of women in data science cannot be emphasized enough. This is also why the Women in Data Science Conference and all initiatives to drive up women's empowerment in data science in particular are so important. Second, we need to make sure that women and girls are visible in the data and statistics we collect. As we consider the crucial role of more women in data science, we must not lose sight of why this matters. We must first do more to make invisible women and girls visible in the data and statistics we collect and use. The reality is, as the title of Caroline Perez's book states, women are often invisible in official statistics we rely upon in development. The state of gender data gaps around the world is a silent crisis. It is often discussed in purpose-built forums, but is largely absent from the short list of urgent global agenda. We know that the poverty crisis is affecting women and girls in disproportionate ways, but that persistent gaps in gender data obscure needed insights and have made targeted support difficult or impossible. One exciting steps in the right direction is the work being pursued by the World Bank's Living Standards and Measurement Study team. We've launched a new surveys. It's a household survey program that is focused on addressing data gaps about women and their economic well-being. For example, we now collect individual-level gender disaggregated data on land ownership, asset ownership and rights, and time use by interviewing women themselves. Thanks to this data, we now know that across several countries in Asia and Africa, women's rights and decision-making over land are considerably lower than the levels previously reported based on household-level data, according mostly to responses from male household heads. Similar insights in other countries are helping to drive reforms too. For example, in Tanzania and Ethiopia, women are half as likely as men to own a bank account. And in Cambodia, women spend 3 more hours per day on unpaid work than men. So those data are so important to guide our policy decisions and actions. And let us also remember that the value we create in filling these data gaps is extensible. We're building the standards, processes, and knowledge to close gaps for other chronically underserved and also invisible groups, from indigenous population to disabled people and SOGI issues and more. Clearly, filling gender data gaps is in every way the curb cut effect in action. Third, we must push the frontier of data science and data sources to deliver decisively and visibly for women and girls around the world and the whole society. When it comes to better data and new insights, it's clearly not enough to only improve on our traditional data collection as we're doing with household surveys. We urgently need to explore new data sources and innovative data science applications and to see how they can push the frontier of what's possible and help us find new ways to understand and improve women's lives and livelihood and that of their families and their communities. To do so, we need to build new private and public partnerships. One example is the World Bank incubated initiative called the Development Data Partnership. The partnership enables a range of international organizations, including, for example, the IMF, regional development banks, OECDs, and more, to access data and analytics from top technology companies. For example, Google's, Meta, Mapbox, Waze, and other 20 companies. By learning through real projects, the partnership is helping us to transform preparatory data sets into sustainable and shareable insights to improve public sector services and enable our responses to crisis. Take, for example, the increasingly frequent reality of deadly heat wave around the world. Like every other climate-related disaster, women are more vulnerable when it comes to heat waves due to a combination of natural physiological reasons, their occupations, access to cooling facilities, and other social norms. Through the Development Data Partnerships Heatwave Data Collaborative, the international organizations, private firms, and researchers are coming together to develop standard data sets, standard methodologies arising from insights from the worst heat waves around the world. As a result, we're beginning to understand better the gendered impact of extreme heat, which means that we can now take steps to mitigate these effects through targeted and timely policy interventions and investment decisions. Of course, this is only the beginning. More needs to be done, and we have a long way to go. That's why I'd like to wrap up by acknowledging that making women and girls visible in data and in data science is a priority that's too big for any one institution. It will take all of us. This is why I want to celebrate the Women in Data Science movement and endorse the 30 by 30 goal. I'm excited to join you and I want to learn from you. As an aside, I want to share that I'm in the process of working with my colleagues across the World Bank to professionalize data science and statistics as a formal career stream, and we need all the women we can get. Likewise, we also have a growing data science fellows program. So those of you who are graduate students, please look us up. We need you to help connect with the data science skills and solutions with the practical operational challenges we're facing in our work. So let's join forces to empower women to shape up our future together through the best data and data science possible. Again, thank you so much, Margot, for this amazing opportunity.